here at the Bog in Saukville. Now, it's very possible, gentlemen, that the clouds that Jason Wilde was referring to, and if you missed any of Jason Wilde's appearance here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, you can, of course, find it on Wisconsin On Demand, wherever you get your podcast. It is very possible that the clouds he was referring to are behind us, right? We're in front of the clubhouse. We are staring out, as Gabe said earlier, at the 18th green, and it is beautiful on this side of the building, but are you seeing maybe that there might be some storm clouds behind us, Winnie the Pooh?
I don't see anything. I don't know what Jason's talking about. Maybe he just needs to adjust the tint on his sunglasses. I don't know.
Well, he has a right to be shell-shocked.
What do you mean?
We get storms every day.
This is a very good point. This is a very good point. This is a very good point.
Florida last night?
I thought I moved to Seattle over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I don't water my garden anymore. I just wait for the rain to roll around 7 p.m. and thunderstorm its way through. My dog is having a real rough week. Real rough week for the dogs that don't like thunderstorms and the change in the barometric pressure and whatnot. Like, he knows before we know, and he starts pacing. And then I'm like, can somebody get the CBD oil for the dog? 'Cause he's on one this evening. If you missed any of Jason Wilde's comments, you can find them on Wisconsin On Demand. But, Chewy, you were saying that, look, the distinction that Homer and John Anderson were trying to make was that they believed in him. The Packers wouldn't have drafted Jordan Love if they didn't believe in him on some level. Obviously, you want a player to evolve. You want them to grow. You don't want them to be the same player they are when you draft them, 4 years in, like we are in with Jordan. 4 years? 5 years? 4 years? 4
This
years.
is going to be year number 4.
Years. In, like we are with Jordan Love.
Oh, no, excuse me. This is year number 5.
Okay. Good.
So it's been 4 years. This is year number 5.
Perfect. Fantastic. You said you disagree with that, though.
Well, I disagree with Homer 100%. If they did,
is that just your default position, though?
Your default setting is to disagree with Homer?
No. I mean, what did he say? Pay him $100 million and I don't care? And I understand. I've said it a million times. I understand what the market is, but playing 9 good games should not afford you to be the highest paid quarterback in the league. I'm sorry. They trust him to the standpoint where, like, yes, we think he's good enough with talent to get us to a Super Bowl. They don't think he's Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's the problem. You don't don someone in the Pro Football Hall of Fame after 9 games. Okay?
Sure, but again, just to kind of go back, Chewy, if you look at the list of top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL that came out yesterday from the executive scouts and coaches that Jeremy Fowler and ESPN polled, outside of Joe Burrow, the top quarterbacks, the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL aren't even in the top 5. Like Lawrence, not on the list.
Yes.
We think Dak's going to get $60 million. He's 10th on the list. Jared Goff, 9th on the list, and he just got paid.
Sure, and I'm sure if you went back to when Carson Wentz had his great year and they paid him, he was in the same position on the list as well.
Sure.
So you have to guard against catastrophic destruction. I mean, what are we going to say if we're 2 weeks into camp and there's no deal and we believe they're not even close?
It's going to make me feel not very good about the upcoming season because some guys, Chew, can compartmentalize.
Sure.
I don't know if Jordan can or not. I don't know if that's something that if he goes, hey, I don't want to worry about this contract. I'm going to put it off to the side. We're not going to negotiate during the season. But I'm assuming, and you went through this, that's always in the back of your mind is the new contract. And I don't know how he handles it. Maybe he handles it great, and I worry about nothing. But it becomes another thing to add to the list that you have to worry about a little bit.
If that's the case, Chew, if what you propose is the case, I will start to have doubts about Jordan Love. Because the Packers aren't going to put themselves in a position to be criticized, to be scrutinized. You talk about the locker room and players. They're not going to. They will have weighed the pros and the cons. They will have done the scales of justice. They will know what they are setting themselves up for. And if they choose to dig their heels in on a certain amount of money, it's because they feel they have the most information, the most data points of anyone else out there who might be projecting or prognosticating about Jordan Love's future and his contract and where the numbers will be. And I will start to wonder, again, if they're willing to make that gamble, if they're willing to take that risk, if then maybe they know something we don't know about the quarterback.
Yes. Here's the difference, though, in contracts. Dak is not worried at all. He's not worried one bit. You know why? Because he already got his big deal. He already has his $200 million in the bank. Jordan Love doesn't. He doesn't. He hasn't gotten that monster deal yet. It's easy when it's the second one. When it's the first one, yeah, can you compartmentalize it? I don't know. Are you worried about getting hurt? Are you worried about this? Are you worried about that? So your first big contract is different than your second one. That's like when mine, I negotiated the first one, the Andy Reid, done. Okay, great. Going into the second one, they want to negotiate? Okay, no big deal. All right. Hey, it'll get done when you get done.
I mean, we've seen players get derailed by that. A.J. Dillon admitted that he was so concerned. Hey, I want to be here. This is where I want to be. And he just, he tried too hard. And it just didn't work out for him. Now he signed whatever contract he currently has to stay in Green Bay, but he didn't certainly.
Is in quotation marks.
Seems like it can be ripped up very easily.
But this is what I think. I think the fact that there is no chatter on either side and there's no talking, because I'm sure Jason's trying to reach out and I'm sure every other reporter's trying to get information on this. I really think it's done, and I think they're going to announce at the shareholders meeting.
So a week from
chatter.
yesterday.
Wouldn't there be chatter? How close are you? Well,
how
about an even? How about an even? I'm not going to discuss my contract situation during the season.
Well, and I'm sure that there are insiders like Diana Rossini at The Athletic. I'm sure that Adam Schefter has done his due diligence. I'm sure there are people who are digging, calling agents, calling contacts to say, where are we on this thing? And as we mentioned months and months ago when this whole thing started to percolate initially, if the agents want a message out there, the agents know how to get a message out there, right? They know who they can talk to. They know what they can say that will then sway public opinion. And Chew, to your point, there has been none of that in recent weeks. There has not even been his camp, Athletes First, saying, whatever narrative they want out there about this entire thing.
If I'm Jordan Love and talking to my agent, if I'm his agent, I'm saying, you know what, kind of let him win this one.
The Packers?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And we'll get him on the next one. I believe in you that much that you're going to have an opportunity in 4 years to sign another extension, and then they're not getting the discount.
But again, to Gabe's point about Jordan Love, that's partly what last year was. This last time where it was like, I believe in you. Let him have a win this time. Sign this deal that is not very lucrative, but you also don't have a ton of stuff on your resume. So, and this was supposed to be that first pay. The only thing I will say about this is if I'm Jordan Love's camp, I'm saying to the Packers, it's not our fault you drafted him when you drafted him. It's not our fault that you had a Hall of Famer under center. It's not our fault that It's not our fault that he only had a season and half a season is when he performed. You guys laid the groundwork for all of this. Our guy has just done everything you've asked of him every step of the way. At some point, you got to pay for putting him in this position.
I think the pressure really starts tomorrow. If we don't get to your point, Chew, the reason why I don't think we've heard anything is because everybody kind of checks out before everybody starts reporting. Jordan Love, rookies, are due to report tomorrow. So Jordan, we know, is going to be in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the time he can start signing.
Gabe, how would you feel right now if you found out Jordan Love is asking for 58 and the Packers are offering the Trevor Lawrence deal?
Just pay him. Just get it over with, man. Just get it over with. Just pay him. Because the biggest deal, Chew, the biggest thing isn't the AAV. It's the thing we talk about the most, but it's the guarantees. Yeah. Because if it's a low guarantee, the way that Trevor Lawrence's deal is, that's the insurance policy for the Packers. If it's a lower guarantee, that means the sooner the Packers can get out of it.
What about 60?
If Jordan's asking for 60?
I'm just spitballing here.
You got to come off that number a little bit, right? Going
59,
50. Yeah, going $5 million up over the highest paid current guys. But again, I think if anything that they haggle over, the biggest haggle is going to be the guarantee, because Jordan, like you said, Jordan hasn't gotten that big payday, and you want to guarantee yourself as much as you humanly possibly can, and you want to get up into a higher guarantee, and that's a high guarantee. That's how you know the Packers trust and believe in him. If it's a lower guarantee, they're hedging their bets.
Yeah, I agree.
Should we do a baby pool? Chewy's got the baby pool. You've got it for what?
You got mine.
We got Friday, the shareholders.
Yeah.
That's Monday. He's
Monday
waiting. Yeah, he's waiting all the way till next week.
Maybe we do a baby pool.
Yeah.
Figure out when the contract gets signed. All right, we'll work on that as Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on. Are you ready to upgrade the concrete surfaces in your home? Let me tell you about my friends at Showtime Floors and Floor Shield. You guys, I feel so foolish, right? I'm talking to my friends over at Showtime Floors. They're telling me about the garage floors that they do, and I'm going, cool. It's a garage, right? They're like, listen, we're going to come out to your place. We're going to give you a new floor in your garage. I said, cool, great. I'll move all my stuff out. It'll be a hassle, but we'll put a floor in. It is the best thing I have done at my home recently. I am not lying. This is not an exaggeration. I love the new floor in our garage. Sometimes I just go out to the garage and hang out because it's quiet. You know, I got all those kids, and so it's a quiet space, but also it's gorgeous now thanks to my friends at Showtime Floors. So maybe you're like me and you're thinking, I don't need to spend money upgrading the floor in my garage. Maybe you don't, but you should, because it has upgraded that space in our house tremendously, and they can do the same for you. Enjoy a 15-year warranty against wear, and if you mention ESPN, they will give you free crack repair and 10% off your purchase. What do you have to lose? Contact them at Showtime Floors. See what they could do for you. The website is showtimefloors.com, and tell them Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sent you.